Watch, I'm going to show you a super easy, high protein, low calorie meal. I can put the screenshot of the entire meal somewhere here on the screen, but kind of a breakdown. It's not this, I promise. It's not the Betty Crocker super moist cake mix, but this is kind of what I got. So pretty much 2 servings of Greek yogurt, and then I usually do about like half a serving of this blueberries. Good source of fiber. So this is one of the yogurts I do use. Sometimes I actually just use the Great Value one. This one comes out to about 90 calories, 18 grams of protein, 5 grams of carbs, 0 fats, so which is pretty good. There's another one that is also like 110 calories, so that one's actually cheaper. This one's comes out to usually like $8, so it's kind of expensive, but the Great Value one's actually like $4, and that's the one that's about 110 calories. I think it kind of ranges a little bit. You know, I think that's okay. It's not gonna like kill your entire budget in terms of your calories and your cut. So that's usually kind of a staple that I have. Honestly, just the 2 servings of the yogurt, about a half serving of the blueberries, and then I also end up having 2 scoops of protein powder. So this is just a typical vanilla ice cream. Something like I said before, make sure to try to find some sort of isolate. This one I think might actually be a mixture. So I probably should have made sure to see that before drinking it or getting it. But yeah, usually look for the isolates is a little bit better. So this is going to come out to pretty much 120 calories per scoop. And then obviously 24 grams of protein, not really a lot of carbs, not really a lot of fat. So by the time you kind of eat everything, have everything, it'll be about 100 grams of protein. So the other thing I like to also have with my protein shake is the Fairlife milk. This one actually is more on the higher calorie range. This one's 120 calories, 13 grams of protein, 4.5 fat, 6 grams of carbs. So there's actually one I think that's about like 90 or 80 calories. So this is actually the reduced fat. I think there's one that has like no fat in it. So that one literally is like 80 or 90 calories, and it's 0 fat. I think same carbs, and it's same protein. So that one's also a good option. So imagine the 13 grams of protein plus the 50 from this, that's already about 73, right? And then plus the yogurt, two servings of this is about, I think it's 30 something, 34 or so, 36. So you're pretty much already there in the range of 100 grams of protein. You really end up sitting around 600 calories. Sometimes if I do the Great Value yogurt, it ends up being about like 800 calories. But I think a good meal that you can incorporate if you're planning on losing weight or just kind of want to eat healthy, not like eating a lot of like carbs and stuff like that, really just high, like I said, something that's simple and easy. Really only is, I guess you could say, 2 main things, right? Which is the yogurt and then the protein shake. So just think about it that way. The milk is sometimes an add-on. Sometimes I will just drink it with water. I know people don't really always like it like that, but if you want that extra like 10 to 13 grams of protein, that can be a good option. And like I said, I really just do the blueberries mainly for the fiber. And then 1 whole serving of the blueberries is about like 140 calories. So I usually just do half. I think this one's actually cheaper or less calories in terms of per serving. So really it just depends on you and how you want to do it. But for me, this is something that works. I have this pretty much every day. And then sometimes too, also have your yogurt. And then if you're kind of eating it like slowly throughout your morning into your afternoon, you're kind of good until like lunch or dinner time. And then for me, like I said, I do structure it around 2 meals. So usually this is my first meal, really high protein, really lasts me a while. I'm usually full for a good like 4 or 5 hours. And then I'm ready for dinner time later on in the day, and then that's when I can kind of track everything out. And it actually, usually with this meal, right, it's gonna leave me with about 1,100 calories total. I'm on the 1,800 mark or so is how much I'm eating daily. So it gives me a pretty good cushion for freedom for my dinner routine. I don't really have to worry about what I'm going to be eating in the dinner time as much, because I'll have a lot more room for, again, like, even if I want to have a little bit more fats at dinner time or a little bit more carbs at dinner time, I can, because I didn't have it a lot during the morning breakfast time. So something to think about, something to consider. But let me know if you guys use this or if you use any of these products. Like I said, Walmart is a great option. They have a lot of cheaper stuff right now. Like I said, the Great Value Greek yogurt is a great option. And then they also have that Fairlife as another option if you want to get a little bit extra protein in. And then you don't necessarily have to use the Optimum Nutrition one, but that's just one that I like to use. Again, try to find the isolate, because if it's like a combination protein powder, it can kind of, at least for me, it upsets my stomach. So anyways, hope you guys enjoy. Let me know what you think, and I'll catch you later. All right, y'all.